Hello everybody and welcome. Yes, I'm wearing a dust mask because I'm sieving wood ash, and you don't want to breathe wood ash in when you sieve it. This is actually wood ash that I have collected from my wood burning stove. But of course I can't use it. I can't use it straight out of the stove. I've got to first put it through a sieve, and I'm putting it through an 80 mesh sieve into this 5-gallon bucket. These sieves, incidentally, you'll be familiar with, and they fit very nicely straight over the bucket. Obviously designed to go over a 5-gallon bucket. Wood ash is a great raw material for us as potters that we can use. It's very versatile, and at high temperature it melts. You're going to ask me, I know, what temperatures does it melt? I'm not quite sure exactly what temperature it melts, but it melts somewhere around, I believe, 1250 centigrade. So you have to convert that into Fahrenheit. But and there's two ways of really using wood ash. A lot of people will use the wood ash and then take the wood ash and put it with water and soak it and wash it and then rinse it and then add more water and then leave it for a period and mix it up and then pouring off the water. You know, in the process of doing that, you're pouring off all of a lot of the soluble fluxes and things that actually make wood ash. I mean, typically if you put wood ash on a pot and put it in a kiln and you don't wash it, it will have a tendency to want to run, which can be actually rather nice. Anyway, some people wash it, other people don't wash it. It just depends what effect you want. In fact, in my... I'll just get that book a second, hang on a minute. Oh, the Potter's Book by my grandfather. But in here, there's quite a study of... quite a study he did on wood ashes. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Iron glazes. Incidentally, this is a great book. It's got a lot of good information in it. If you don't have a copy, of course I recommend you can get hold of one, probably through eBay. I mean, I got this one through eBay, I think. There was a chart in here actually that where here it is. The effects of different wood ashes on glazes. Yeah, I've got here a chart of different wood ashes. Japanese rice straw ash, fully washed. Japanese isu ash, fully washed. Thatched reed ash, fully washed. Mixed autumn weed ash, unwashed, and then the same fully washed. Apple pulp ash, once washed, and then the same unwashed. Lawn mowings ash, once washed, and the same unwashed. Bracken ash, fully washed. Bracken is a kind of, I don't know if you have it in the United States, but in England we have a thing called bracken. It grows out on the moorland. It's a sort of can be about this high, a green moorland, very small bush. And the same again, once washed. Box ash, fully washed. Applewood ash, once washed. Wheat husk ash. And then you've got here a chart with the different things that I've somehow managed to ascertain. They've got a column with the silica content, the alumina content, the phosphorus content, iron, lime, potash, magnesia, carbonate, sulfate, chloride. And it's actually quite interesting to see what a lot of difference there is, you know, between the different ashes and different effects that you can get, and the difference between washed and unwashed. If it's been washed, it's not going to be so unstable. It's not going to have a tendency to run so much. So, but you know, I mean, there's most of these ashes here that he's mentioned I've not even used myself. And this ash here, in fact, is, I believe, white oak ash. When I was in Spain, I used to use an almond wood ash. So you know, there's so many ashes out there, aren't there, that we could potentially use. You know, from I'm looking at here on sumac trees. You know, they'll have a different effect there again. You know. So the thing is in Spain actually I had a nice effect from a carob wood ash. But you see here, where I am here, no carob trees, so it's nice to use what you've got right where you live and where you've got, you know, your studio. Why not make use of the local soil, the local clay, if you can dig it, the local vegetation, if you can burn it, and wood and stuff like that grows just outside your studio. I think that's, for me, that's the way to go. That's what I like to do, you know. Anyway, talking a lot here. What I have actually got to do is sieve up here a quantity of this wood ash, because, I mean, I'll just swing the camera over here a sec, because over here I've got some, I'm actually just making up, it's nothing very extraordinary, but it is extraordinary. It's simple, but it's extraordinary. You know that? Some things that can be simple can also be extraordinary. We haven't got to be complicated with glazes. You know, some of the earliest glazes, and some of the nicest glazes, in my opinion, were made out of just very few ingredients. It doesn't make it a superior glaze because it's got more ingredients in it. That's cuckoo thinking. Alright? This is red clay here, and I've actually got here, you can probably see, I've got two different kinds of red clay. I found some red clay that I had marked in a bag that said suitable for iron oxide slip. So I thought, right, we'll take that. And then I found some other red clay that came out of a bag that said standard ceramic supply on the outside. And that was a low temperature clay. But you can probably see, if you look at these, one is obviously got more iron in it than the other. Anyway, you know, I'm not very much of a chemist, to be honest, and you know, I'm a little bit haphazard maybe, so I'm thinking, well, never mind, we'll put this together and we'll add this to the ash, because what we're going to do is we're going to make up a glaze that's 50% red clay and 50% wood ash, and it gives quite a nice effect, quite a nice glaze, and I like it anyway. So It's nice to make up our own glazes, isn't it? Not to have to buy glazes. Maybe you're somebody who thinks that to make up one's own glaze, one's got to be some sort of high-tech rocket scientist type of chemist. Well, that's not the case, really. You know, the old Japanese and Chinese and Koreans, they didn't really know the chemical formulas of things, but they knew that a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they'd get a certain effect, rule of thumb kind of effect, kind of methodology, you know. So what I need to do actually is make, I've had in the past, but I don't have one at the moment, and that is make myself a test kiln. Because if you've got a test kiln, you can, and that's basically just a small kiln that you can quickly fire up. It isn't going to take you all day to fire it. You may be able to fire it in a couple of hours, you know. A test kiln so that you can take raw materials, and that's one of the best things to do, is to take raw materials and fire them on their own, just to see what happens to them. So, seems that the telephone is ringing in the background, but I'm not answering it. I can ring off or wait. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a combination of this red clay with that wood ash. We're going to mix them together. Okay, folks, well, nice for you to join us again, and as I say, as always, be experimental and keep practicing. See you soon. Bye bye now.